Good morning, my dear students. Let's start with group 17 elements, that is called as halogen family. Here this group 17 elements of the periodic table, it consists of 5 elements, namely fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. They all are non-metals, and these all elements are collectively called to be as halogen. They are called to be as halogen because they are found in the as a sea salt, and here the meaning of halo is sea salt, and gens means producing, because it is produced inside the sea. That's why it is called as halogens. Okay, so here first three elements occur in the sea, and fluorine is the most reactive, and hence it is called to be a superhalogen. Acetylene, it is radioactive in nature, thus it occurs only in traces because the lifespan of this one is very small. Therefore it do not have much in known about its chemistry, though it might be expected to be metalloid. Okay, so these are few of the introduction about the group 17 elements. Next we know that halogens, they are highly reactive in nature. That's why halogens, it will never be exist in free state. It is mostly found in the combined state because of its reactivity. So whenever we will be talking about the occurrence of halogen, so these halogens are found in the form of their salt. Like first we have fluorine. Fluorine occur as cryolite and fluorspar or fluorapatite. Then we have chlorine, it is found as sodium chloride or rock salt. Bromine, it is found in of alkali metal or alkaline earth metal in sea salt. Okay, iodine, it is occur as alkali metal in sea salt like sodium iodate or chili saltpeter. So these are the some compound in which these halogens are found in combined state. Okay, so let's have few of the physical properties of these halogen. First, let's start with the electronic configuration. So here, whenever we are talking about this, as we know, halogen, it is just before that of noble gases, and noble gas is what, whose octet is complete, means in its octet the last electron, that is the number of electron in the last shell is 8. So it is just before the halogen. So here the electronic configuration of this shell and the valence electron that is present in the outermost shell, that is 5, and electronic configuration is ns2 np5. It means we know that in p we are having 3 orbital for p, px, py and pz. So here in px we have 2 electron, and in py again we will be having 2 electron, but in pz we have only 1 electron. It means z is going to take part in the reaction, thus here the bond that is going to form is sigma bond. Okay, so they contain 1 electron less than the nearest inert noble gas. So here the oxidation of this group is taken as -1, because by taking 1 electron only they will get stability. Okay, so these are about the electronic configuration. Next, here we will have the melting and boiling point. So whenever we are talking about the melting and boiling point, it increases with the increase in atomic number. It means as we are moving down in a group, here the melting and boiling point is going on increases, so the heat of fusion as well as the heat of vaporization also increases with the increase in atomic number. Next we have atomic and ionic radii. So atomic and ionic radii are small and increases regularly down the group from fluorine to iodine. We know that ionic radii is what, it depends on the size. So as we are moving down, the size is going on increases. Why? Because the introduction of new shell takes place. That's why atomic or ionic radii will also become increases. Next, we will be having ionization enthalpy. So, ionization enthalpy of halogens are very high. Why? Because next, it is just before that of inert gas, that is noble gas. So here the ionization enthalpy of this one is very high because it will easily accept the electron and get the stability. And whenever they are moving, whenever we are talking about the ionization enthalpy of the group of halogens, so here as we are moving down, ionization enthalpy will become increases. Okay, because the distance or they have a less tendency to lose electron, this tendency increase down the group. Okay, means as we are moving down, the size is going on increases, or if the size increases, it means the ionization enthalpy will become less. So whenever we are comparing the ionization enthalpy, on moving down the size increases and then the ionization enthalpy will become decreases. Okay. Next we have electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy is what actually halogen, they have one electron less than that of nearest noble gas configuration, therefore they have a strong tendency to accept additional electron. Okay, so hence halogen have large negative electron gain enthalpy. So as we move down in a group, the electron gain enthalpy become less and less negative as the size of the halogen increases. It means electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative than that of chlorine. Whenever it is a very important question, as we know that whenever we are moving down, the electron gain enthalpy or the value of this electron gain enthalpy will become decreases. But whenever we are comparing the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine and chlorine, so chlorine is having more electron gain enthalpy and it will give more negative value as compared to fluorine. So why does it happens actually? So it is due to the small size of fluorine atom, because the size of fluorine is very small. So as a result, very strong electron repulsion are also there. Whenever we are trying to put one electron into the outermost shell, which already have 7 more electron on that, so whenever we are putting one electron, so it also get repulsion from there. So that's why here we have to put little effort to add this electron. That's why here the value of negative value of electron gain enthalpy is less as compared to that of chlorine. Okay. So chlorine is having more electron gain enthalpy than fluorine, and when we move down, the electron gain enthalpy will become decreases. Now we have this physical state. So physical state, the halogen are all present in the form of diatoms, because they are non-metals, and non-metals are mostly exist in the atomic form. So these are also exist in the diatomic form. Fluorine and chlorine, they are gases. Bromine is exist as volatile liquid, it can evaporate very easily, and iodine is also exist as a volatile solid. Okay, but if we will be talking about astatine, so we know astatine, it is metal, it means it exists in the form of solid. Now we have color of halogen. We know that halogen also shows color. So what is the reason of color? We also know the reason of color is what? Because here the color of halogen is because of the absorption of visible light by their molecules. Here the molecules of these are going to absorb the radiation whichever falls over that, and then they become excited, and then they release some of the radiation which falls into the visible range. That's why we can see the color of halogen. So halogen, they are showing different color, like fluorine, it is pale yellow color, chlorine is green yellow color, bromine is reddish brown, and iodine is dark violet in color. Here reason is also given. The color of halogen is due to the absorption of visible light by their molecule. It result in the excitation of outer electron to higher energy level. And fluorine, being smaller in size, it absorbs violet light, which gives which release pale yellow, while iodine absorbs yellow light for excitation, therefore it release violet color. Okay. So these are the reason. Next we have oxidation state. So here if we will be talking about the oxidation state, all the elements of this group halogen family, because they have the tendency to gain electron, isn't it? So it means they all are going to show -1 valency, because they have the tendency to gain electron, and the electron affinity of this one because of the small size and high electronegativity. As a result, they form monovalent atom, anion, by sharing one electron or either by gain of one electron. So that's why the common oxidation of this group is -1, and sometime it may also show +1 oxidation state. Okay, the element, it depends on the element to which it combines, because halogen is more electronegative. But if halogen is combined with any of the element which is more electronegative than halogen, then it is going to show plus oxidation state. Like other element of this group, we have many more element of this group like bromine and chlorine and iodine. They are going to show +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state. These oxidation state are very common. Mostly they are going to show -1 because of the more electronegative character, but we know the second most electronegative element is oxygen. So when it is combined with the oxygen, it may show plus oxidation state. And because of the presence of vacant d orbital, that's why it can expand itself and it may show +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state also. But fluorine will never show any other oxidation state. Fluorine will always be show only -1 oxidation state, because fluorine is the uh, highest electronegative element and it do not give electron to anyone else. Next we have the non-metallic character. So halogen, because they are highly electronegative in nature, and halogens have very high value of ionization energy, that's where they exhibit non-metallic character. But when we move from up to down in a group, here the metallic character decreases, because non-metallic character decreases, because non-metallic characters depend on what? It depends on the size. So as the size is going on increases, non-metallic character is going on decreases. Okay. Now nature of bond with other metal elements. What type of bond they are going to form when they react with other element? It is asked. So halogen combine with metal to form ionic halide, because metals, they are highly electropositive in nature. It means metals are going to lose its electron very easily. Then they form ionic halide, and the ionic character of these halide decreases while covalent character increases on going down in a group. It means as we are moving down, ionic character decreases and covalent character increases. Why? Because as we are moving down here, the electronegativity will become decreases. Okay, that's why the above one is going to show a clear ionic character, but on moving down the ionic character will going on decreases. Okay. Now next we are having chemical properties. So chemical property means what? We know that all the halogens, they are highly reactive in nature. Okay. But among them fluorine is the most reactive, because fluorine is most electronegative in nature. That's why fluorine is taken as the highest reactive in nature. So as we are moving down, their reactivity decreases again, because they are non-metal. So here when we are moving down, their non-metallic character decreases, that's why their reactivity will also become decreases. So here because the on we are moving down, here electronegativity decreases and bond dissociation energy will become increases. Okay, so because of that only reactivity will also become decreases. Now let's have few of the anomalous behavior of fluorine. Like we know, all the elements of the second period, they are going to show some anomalous behavior. Like lithium, beryllium, boron, fluorine is also going to show some anomalous behavior from the element which is present in their group. Because of what? Because of the small size, highest electronegativity, or low fluorine bond dissociation enthalpy, and because of the absence of d orbital also. Because of these only, they are going to show some of the anomalous behavior which are not shown by the element of this group. Okay, so most of the reaction of fluorine are exothermic. Why? Due to the small and strong bond formed by it with other element. So it form only one oxo acid, while other halogen form a number of oxo acid. Hydrogen fluoride is liquid with a boiling point of 293 Kelvin due to the strong hydrogen bonding. Only hydrogen fluoride exists in the form of liquid. Rest all the elements, they exist in the form of gas. Because in hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen is able to make hydrogen bond. We know hydrogen bond is formed by only highest electronegative element with a small size, but chlorine and other element of this group, they do not form hydrogen bond. That's why they exist in the form of gas, whereas hydrogen fluoride exists in the form of liquid. Now let's have the oxidizing nature of this halogen. So halogen act as strong oxidizing agent. It is because their high electron affinity that they have great tendency to take up electron, because it has a tendency to accept the electron, and the one which is going to accept the element which is going to accept electron, it is called to be as reduced. Reduction of this element takes place. Gain of electron means reduction. It means it help in the oxidation of any other element. That's why it is taken as oxidizing agent. And the oxidizing power of halogen decreases on going down the group from fluorine to astatine. Here we have few of the reaction given in which it is proved that it shows oxidizing nature. See X2, where X represent halogen, X is going to gain 1 electron and then it show X minus. So gain of electron is reduction, and it help in the reduction of any or oxidation of any other element. Dissociation of this X2, here we have accepting the electron. After dissociation, this one is going to gain 1 electron. Here we have many more example which shows the oxidizing nature of halogen. Okay, now we have reactivity towards hydrogen. Here halogen combine with hydrogen to form volatile halide. Whenever the combination between halogen or any of the element takes place, they are going to form their halide. So whatever the halide these halogen are going to form, they are volatile in nature. With the formula HX, where H represent hydrogen and X represent halogen. H means it is going to have one positive charge, and X means they are going to have negative charge. It means that's why they are having one positive and one negative charge. So here the formula will be HX. Okay, so here we have some of the characteristics of these halides as physical nature. So again, whenever we are talking about the existence of these halides, or sorry, these hydride, so here hydrogen fluoride, okay, or hydrides of fluorine, it exists in the form of liquid because of the presence of hydrogen bond. Look at the structure. Here we have hydrogen fluoride, three molecules of hydrogen fluoride, and one molecule is going to make a bond with another molecule, and they are connecting with one another with a hydrogen bond. So due to the presence of hydrogen bond, that is intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there. So because of the presence of hydrogen bonding, it exists in the form of liquid. Rest other element of this group like hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide, they exist in the form of gas. Acidic nature, here we also need to know the acidic nature of these hydrogen halide. So they all show acidic character, but what is the strength or what is the order of this acidic nature? So acidic nature is what? It means the one which is going to release hydrogen H plus ion easily. So because the bond dissociation energy or bond of HF is very strong, it is exists in the form of liquid, and HI is exists in the form of gas. And because of the bigger size of iodine, here the bond length also increases. So if the bond length increases, then it can break very easily. So it means hydrogen iodide can lose its hydrogen ion very easily, and then it shows more acidic nature as compared to the hydrogen fluoride. So it means as we are moving down in a group, the hydrides of this group, hydrogen iodide is going to show more acidic nature as compared to the hydrogen fluoride. Okay, next we have reducing nature. Reducing nature is what? Reducing character of hydride increases down the group. As we are moving down, the reducing character is also going on increases. So here reducing nature is also depends on what? It also depends on the removal of hydrogen. As the hydrogen is removed, means oxidation of that one takes place. Removal of hydrogen is what? That is oxidation, isn't it? So it means it acts as reducing agent. So reducing character of this one increases because as we are moving down, the bond length or bond length is going to increases, and the strength of this bond is going to decreases from hydrogen fluoride to hydrogen iodide. So lower the strength of the bond, greater is the ease with which it can cleave, and hence greater is the reducing character. It means as we are moving down, the bond will become bigger, and if the bond is going on increases, it means it will be very easy to break the bond. That's why hydrogen iodide is going to show more reducing character as compared to the hydrogen fluoride. Okay, next reactivity towards halogen, towards oxygen, means how these halogens is going to react with oxygen. So always remember students, halogen is not going to combine with oxygen directly. They never combine with the oxygen directly. That's why their oxides with oxygen can be prepared, that is indirectly. We cannot prepare, we cannot combine fluorine or oxygen directly. If we need to have a reaction between the halogens and the oxygen, then we have to take the oxides of that compound means oxides of halogen, then these oxides of halogen is going to react with the oxygen, then only uh, the compound is going to form. So fluorine form two oxides like OF2 and O2F2. OF2 is prepared by the action of fluorine on 2% sodium hydroxide. See, this OF2 is prepared by fluorine. Fluorine is not combined with the oxygen directly. That's why fluorine is going to combine with sodium hydroxide. That is 2% of sodium hydroxide. Then it will give rise to sodium fluoride and OF2. That is oxygen fluoride. Okay, here it is called as oxygen fluoride because we know that fluorine is more electronegative than hydrogen, that's why it is taken as fluoride. Rest other element to which oxygen is going to combine, they are going to form their oxide, okay, leaving fluorine. See, both the compound are strong fluorinating agent. O2F2 oxidizes PuF6 and the reaction is used for the removing plutonium as PuF6 from spent nuclear fuel. So here we have few more reaction. See, chlorine. Chlorine is also not going to combine with the oxygen directly. That's why this chlorine is going to combine with the mercuric oxide first, and it will give rise to a compound of oxides of chlorine. Because oxygen is the second most electronegative element, that's why it is called to be as chlorooxide. Here we have few more oxides of halogen, like fluorine is going to form two compound when react with oxygen, that is OF2 and F2O2. Here fluorine is going to means oxygen is going to show plus oxidation state. Okay, chlorine is going to have these different type of compound in which it shows +2 oxidation state, it shows +3 oxidation state, it also show +7 oxidation state here. Okay, bromine is also going to form two oxides with oxygen. Iodine is also going to form two oxides with oxygen. So all the oxides are powerful oxidizing agent and decompose explosively when subjected to mechanical shock or heat. See, here we have a structure. This structure you people have to know. With the help of structure only we came to know the oxidation state. Chlorine oxide, that is Cl2O, ClO2, Cl2O6 and Cl2O7 are highly reactive oxidizing agent and tend to explode. ClO2 is used as a bleaching agent for paper pulp and textile and in water treatment. There are many more uses of bromine oxide, are least stable halogen oxide and exist only at low temperature. They are a very powerful oxidizing agent. It means all the oxides of halogen, they act as powerful oxidizing agent. The iodine oxide are insoluble solid and decompose on heating, is a very good oxidizing agent and used in the estimation of carbon monoxide. Okay, now we have reactivity towards metal. It means whenever these halogen react with the metal, what type of compound is going to form. So we know that like halogen, they are highly electronegative in nature, so metals, they are highly electropositive in nature. So halogen react with the metal to form metal halide. And here we have example like bromine is going to react with magnesium, then form magnesium bromide. Then the ionic character of the halide decreases in order of fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. We know whenever we are moving down, the covalent character is going on increases, because here we are talking about the reaction between metal and non-metal, because halogens, they are the non-metal. So when we have the reaction between metal and halogen, they show the compound which is formed by the fluorine, they show ionic character, but as we move down, ionic character decreases and the covalent character increases. Okay, why does it happen actually? So it is because the size is going on increases. Now with metals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc., they are having low ionization enthalpy. So halogen react to form ionic halide, which have high boiling and melting point, because here they are forming by the loss or gain of electron. That's why here the melting and boiling point of this one is high. As the electronegativity of the halogen decreases down the group, ionic character decreases in order of MF is more than MCl, then more than MBr, and then it is more than Mi. So with metal having high ionization enthalpy like tin, bismuth, and lead halogens form covalent halide. The halide of this metal is in higher oxidation state. They form SnCl4 and PbCl4 and SbCl5. They shows their highest oxidation state here, and they all are covalent. Then the halides in lower oxidation state, it form SnCl2, PbCl2 and SbCl3. Okay. So whenever they are going to form the compounds of higher oxidation state, they are going to show covalent character as compared to the one which is going to have less oxidation state. Like is in SnCl4, the oxidation state of tin is +4. In SnCl2, the oxidation state of this one is +2. So +4 is going to show more covalent character as compared to the +2. Next we have non-metals. If this halogen combined with the non-metal like phosphorus, arsenic, sulfur, um, not arsenic, phosphorus, sulfur, so the halogen they form covalent halide like PF5 or PCl3, PBr3, S2Cl2. This type of compound they are going to form. So these are all about the reactivity towards metal. Now we have reactivity with halogen. Means halogen also have the tendency to react with itself, and formation of halide takes place. Okay, so how do they react with itself? So halogen in general, halogen combine among themselves to form a number of compound like interhalogen compound, that is XX dash, where X dash it is the halogen which is having small size, XX dash 3, XX dash 5, XX dash 7, where X is larger size halogen and X dash is smaller size halogen. So these are all about the introduction of the elements which is present in the group 17, that is in the halogen family. So tomorrow in the next class we will have uh, start compounds of halogen, that is chlorine. Then we have hydrogen chloride. After that we will be having some oxo acids of chlorine, then some elements of group 16. Then in the next class we will finish this chapter. This chapter, till this chapter you will be getting in your midterm examination. So students, kindly please prepare for these all, because from this chapter only the conceptual question will be asked. Okay, so everything, each and every small points you people have to know. Okay, thank you so much for hearing me. For today we have this much only. Thank you once again.